Short Film Festival online edition. We're doing a Q&A today for Folie Marty Me, and I'm joined by Callum and Rosie. How are you doing?
Hello, very well.
Doing very well. How are you doing, Rosie and James?
I'm good.
And anyone else in the room?
Spoke to you last night, Callum, but yeah, I'm all right.
Good. We are all
Sick of you now.
good. So thank you so much for sharing your film with us. We really appreciate being able to show a film, and also it being a film as part of the Watford Award and being able to screen it to a local audience means all the world to us too, to have local filmmakers and local talent show. Callum, from a writing perspective, films are there's often the cliche that films are made 3 times, where they're made in writing, in production, and then after they've been edited. How does the film that you wrote, how similar or how different is it to the film that you made in the end?
Exactly how you just said. In my mind, the film that I originally wrote, and then Will and me wrote together, director of the film, then how it came out are 2 very different things. The film itself is not what I imagined at all. So, and I was speaking to Rosie last night about this, and it was the first time that me and Will had worked this way, that I came up with the idea and he took that script and did what he wanted with it. So when I turned up on set, it was not what I imagined, and it was quite surprising. But I think it actually paid off for the better in the end, really. But yeah, I agree with your statement there that the writing, the production, and the edit, they are all 3 different projects.
Yeah, and obviously acting in it too. It's a different task from writing. Like they're very different mediums altogether. Rosie, from your point of view, acting, what was the most challenging part of playing your character?
Not working with me, don't say.
No, that was very easy because me and Callum have worked together for a long time, so that was actually very easy. For me, the whole character challenge was to try and play a southerner. So for me, I did want to try. It was one of my first film things that I'd ever done, and I really wanted to just try and do a character that was not in my own accent, and that was one of the main things. You know, that the story and the relationship with Callum as an actor was easy. It was trying to do a natural London accent, and it's funny looking back on it, going, "Oh yeah, I thought it was fine." And then you're like, "Oh dear, that sounds a bit stiff." So yeah, that was the main challenge for me for this one. Yeah.
And in terms of the process from writing it to getting the film through post-production, how long was that process?
Very quick. So me and Will, the director of the film, we've done a few films together, and we started the production company 1142 only out of us wanting to learn. So we never really ever believed the films would be shown or put out to an audience. It was because we wanted to keep on learning in what this gig is, whatever it may be. And then I think we made 5 or 6 films now. And he's chasing his own objectives and trying to learn. I'm doing exactly the same thing, and I've gone off myself. I've got the questions, so remind me. God damn it!
How long was the process from writing to?
Sorry, the process. So every time we've written something, we don't rest on our laurels. We always say, do the idea, get rid of the idea, and exercise it. So that you can sit on a script and think this is the best thing you've ever made, but the best thing to do is give it away. And in all our films, we go from initial idea, conversation, talking about it, when can we get it made, when can we do it, and the turnaround can be sometimes a couple of days or a couple of months, depending on what we need for that film. So it can, but we never want to wait around in that sense.
And Rosie, from your point of view, so in the process of doing these video Q&As, we've talked with a lot of directors and about their experiences directing actors. But I think it'd be interesting to hear the perspective of an actor working with a director. What do you think makes a good director, and what helps make you a better actor when working with a director?
For me, the most important thing is just feeling comfortable. Um, Feeling comfortable on set, so you totally relax. That's got to be the most important thing. And then it's a director who will get something out of you without telling you how to do it. So the worst thing is someone going, "Oh, could you say it a bit more like?" No, I don't. That is the worst thing ever. It's someone who can talk to you and knows how you work and can get it out of you without you even realizing. And if you feel like a director trusts you to like take risks and do something that doesn't really work, then you're just going to be so much more comfortable, and the film's going to be richer in every way, I would say.
Were there ever any moments on set, whether from a writing point of view or from an acting point of view, where things needed to be adjusted or modified because the context had changed on set? For example, like if a location had fallen through, or if there was a scene that just wasn't working, so it needed to be tweaked in the script?
Well, I mean, so the location was a empty shop that we dressed, and then we shot the whole film in a day. So already that has huge challenges in every aspect, and we were on a very busy road, so we had to change as we went along. And obviously, in the process, we said, "Oh, we probably should have done 2 days filming." But that was, again, it comes back to Will's initial drive. He's never, setting out to make a film that would change the world. He's being selfish, as I am being selfish, as we want Rosie to be selfish. We all want to get something out of this project, which is we're learning, we're testing our craft. We have no idea. And to be totally honest, without our producer Tamara, I don't think this film would be anywhere around the festivals we've got into, because me and Will never think about our work in that sense. We see it as a learning progression. And Tamara, who's just incredible producer, she's put it out everywhere, and luckily she brought it to you guys. So that's really nice. So it's an added bonus that people see the work and like the work. But it was always about us learning and continuing that learning, I guess. But yeah, on set, everything went wrong, and that was it.
That's the charm of it, though. That's what's made the charm of it, I think.
In hindsight, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good sort of lesson for filmmaking in general, that there's always going to be unexpected things that crop up, from writing all the way through to producing to production and post-production. There's always challenges, and it's a matter of being resilient and overcoming them, and adapting the idea all the way around.
You could let it swallow. You could let it swallow the moment and swallow it up, and everyone gets in a bad mood. But that's just not going to help anyone. So anything that comes up, it's just how you solve it. And it all adds to the finished product, I think. And the
sorry, go on.
No, yeah.
Our audience at the film festival come from a variety of backgrounds. Some of them are sort of seasoned filmmakers. Some of them are students who are just learning their craft. Other people are people who are maybe interested in getting into making films, but don't necessarily feel confident or don't know where to begin with it. From a writing and an acting point of view, what advice would you give to somebody starting out?
I'm always really wary of giving advice, in the sense that who am I to give anyone advice? And in my honest opinion, I learn the most by failing and doing it and making those mistakes. And I remember when I was at school with Rosie that people were always giving me their opinion about what I should do, and I never found that useful. And I think it really is, in that sense, that what Will's so good at is that he dives in and he asks questions and he wants to learn. But you're willing to make mistakes. Give your work away. Don't be precious. Give it up for people to scrutinise, and then that's the only way you'll get a bearing of what you want. Maybe the only advice I would give is create work that you want to watch, because if you make work you think people will like, that you're on the wrong you're on the wrong kind of road in that sense. But if you go, I like this, there's going to be some other freaks out there who like that too. So you're on a good I don't know, journey that way.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing came about because I hadn't done very much theatre work, and Callum was steaming ahead in the film world, and I was going, I'm jealous. So I asked Callum to write something, basically, and he'd been working with Will before this. And Callum wrote this and then worked with Will on it. So for me, a bit of advice is look at as an actor, look at who you've got around you. And if you've got colleagues and people who are writing, just talk to them and say, right, I want to play this mad character. Do you fancy writing that? And see what they come up with. And then just get a camcorder and just record it and just go from there. The only thing I would say is just do it. Don't sit around at the pub talking about it. Just do it. That's the best way to get started.
100%. It's very sound advice. Thank you guys so much for sharing the film with us. I guess the final question for you guys is, what are you guys currently working on, and where can we see more of your work?
I've just finished, or about to finish, shooting a series called Kensal Town. It's kind of based on the backdrop of the Grenfell fire that we all kind of were witness to, and that's going to be a really, really good series. So please look out for that. And I'll definitely give a shout out to Will. Will's just done a new film called Bugs, which is going to be better than all the stuff we've done, mainly because I'm not in it. So, but yeah. But apart from that, I imagine me and Rosie are doing the same thing everyone's doing, that we're struggling through this last year and we're making our own work. Rosie's just had a film a little while ago called Man, which is incredible, and she's going to put that online soon, and you should all bloody watch that because it is incredible.
Oh, too kind. Yeah, that should be. We've submitted. It's called Man. It's an adaptation from a play. It's just a sort of one-shot, very simple story, directed by Zach Carney, who's great Geordie director. And we've entered that into some festivals this year. And I've just shot another little short that I wrote and was in with a lovely little actress called Elliot Murray. We shot that in the Catford Centre, which is an excellent backdrop, very untouched location that I love. And that's called Wisdom Teeth, and that's in the edit at the minute. So we're hoping that'll be out soon to submit to festivals as well. Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing it and spending the time to do this Q&A as well. Thank you for sharing your work with the audience at Watford. I know Tamara will also appreciate showing her film in front of a local audience. And just thank you for being a part of the festival. Thanks, Callum and Rosie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.